they have all tremendous stories, and I know that people are going to get great things out of it. So I don't know if it was Uwe or Natalie. Thank you so much for hitting record. I paused it so you didn't have to hear the ugly stuff. So thank you guys for that. So tonight we're going to talk about community. We're going to talk about community, and I'm so excited for these two ladies to share about community. They are Hawaiians. Mahalo, aloha, all those things. I don't know a lot of Hawaiian, but I'm learning more and more and more. And I now can pronounce Ui's name. Uilani Tavega is going to join us tonight. Did I do it pretty good? Did I? Oh my goodness gracious. Let me just give you, so I have to have coaching lessons on how to speak Hawaiian. And with a name like Dickerhoff, trust me, I know I can screw up people's names. And God bless Kelly, because she chose it. And so my sister-in-law, she chose it. I mean, it's like, I was born with it. And you know what? They chose it. Well, anyways, Uwe and Natalie Smith are going to share tonight about community. And I won't lie to you, when people ask, and they ask, hey, are people growing in Isogenics? I'm like, yeah. People are growing. Are people changing lives? People are changing lives because of what these two ladies and the entire community they have built. Uwe is a 4-star. Natalie is a 3-4-star as well. 5, they have a lot of stars. They've done amazing. And you know what? I just love during this time of, that we've had the last 6 months, what they have done on Hawaiian Islands and Hawaiian Islands Extended. You guys should all get ready to take amazing notes because it can be done anywhere. And I'm so excited to learn from them. Uwe, aka Janice, she can get into that. And Natalie, are you guys ready to share?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Tyler.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to say, Natalie is an Aussie, right?
Right.
She's a dancer. They're both dancers. And I just, their accents will be much more enticing to listen to than listening to me. So ladies, thank you for joining us. And I'm excited to hear from you.
Thank you, Tyler. Yay. Yeah, we're so excited to be here. Hi, everyone. Would love for you guys to type in the chat while we're starting. Where are you all from? We are coming to you from the west side of Maui in Hawaii. It's just gone 2:06 p.m. for us, so the day is young.
Wow. And there might be kids banging on the door.
Yeah, exactly. Mom life. So we're so excited to talk about community because really that's the thing that, like Tyler said, has birthed all of this momentum. But we're going to take you back a little bit. We won't take too long, but I think it's important to understand the backstory and how this happened, because in reflection and preparation for this call, I was thinking and reflecting on when did this happen? Because most of you have probably seen, if you've been around in Isogenics for a couple months, you've probably seen Ui's name and recognition throughout, celebration and throughout the company, really. And, when I think back, I really do believe that it started, back when we went to celebrate our first celebration together. Yeah. You want to share a little bit about what made you start? Yeah.
It was Natalie's Australian accent. I'll be super honest. I'm just gonna be super real, and I call her like my Mr. Miyagi, and I'm her karate kid, and we're just gonna make this fun, and we're just gonna talk story, okay? I think that my husband and I were legit probably number 1 on everybody's list for everybody's business for 14 years, and every time there's a new thing popping up, the Tevangas were always being like, hi. Oh, they know so much people. They're not shy. You guys would be perfect. All the things. And I was like, oh, I don't like network marketing, but go you. And then I invited Natalie over because I just loved, I don't know, something about her was different. She was different. And I said, you know what? Why don't you come over to my house? I think they had been in Maui for maybe a year.
Yeah.
Invited her over for, we have like a disco party every New Year's Eve.
So fun.
We turn up in my garage. That's it. But basically, she saw my pantry and there was Isogenics products in it. She's like, oh, you do the products, you don't do the business. No, girl. But because of her beautiful accent, I was like, you can say whatever you want to me, girl. Like, keep it coming. I'll listen, whatever you want to say. But she said something, and I always say, you can write this down. We don't make money off our friends in Isogenics. We make money with them. And I had been coaching finances for about 5 years prior. But I was
super successful.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
Busy mom of, I just had my 5th baby. I'm not kidding. Okay. And my husband was working 2 jobs. I also had 2 businesses, and that's how we roll in Hawaii. And I love the products, but when I saw the comp plan, that was everything for me. And I didn't think just about freeing my family from the busyness. I thought about I thought this is the thing in Hawaii that's going to change the game for getting our people to stop hustling so hard. Side hustles is not a nice thing in Hawaii. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
And so when our milk is $8 and our bread is like $7, $8, you can imagine that Isogenics is not expensive. So
no,
that's not.
Yeah.
But we ran. I just was like, yep. Halfway through her presentation, I was like, I'm in. I looked over at my husband, and whatever she told me, I did it. She was like, okay, this week I need you to go make 7 cycles. This week I need you to enroll these people. And I was like, okay, yep. And so the number one thing I did to build community was like, first listen to Mr. Miyagi and just follow the person that knew where she was going. And I didn't care. Like, she didn't have to tell me she made $1 million. She didn't have to tell me anything. I didn't have to see a before and after. What I saw in her was belief, and what I saw in her was confidence in like where this could go, not just for her, but for me and my family too. So
yeah, I love that. And I think you know, that's something that is really important. Like, you have to really understand what the cash can do for people. And I just want to, this might, I don't know, take this for whatever it's worth, but obviously Ui has out-earned me, right? And so, but here's the thing. When I asked her at that party, this is a really important question that I'm going to challenge you to ask everyone. How much money do you need to make? You know, because a lot of money, it's such a self, you know, I mean, a lot of money could be $500 to a person and $10,000 to another. And that's what she said to me, $10,000. Now, I'm going to be so vulnerable with you guys. So at that point, I had made $10,000 a month twice. But I knew without a bat of and I said to her, a week or a month? I was like, weekly, right? And she's like, a month. And I was like, okay, because I know that we have a compensation plan that can back that up. Like, I have no doubt that if someone comes in here, now I don't walk around saying, who wants to make this much? That's not at all it. You know, we have conversations and qualifying questions along the way, but I just want you to feel confident that if someone came to you and said they wanted to consistently earn maybe what you haven't earned yet, ask yourself this: do I have the tools and resources to get them to where they want to go? It's not about me having needed to go there first, because the thing that I have done is I've been around. And so what came to mind, and I just want to shout out Laura Stevens, because I remember being at an Earn Your Wings and I was just hanging off everything, right? Like, just like we was like, I wanted to listen to you. I remember doing the same to her. And she said, we did the Leader in Action formula. Like, that's all we did. And so I took that in that moment. And I remember another thing of another incredible leader, Betsy, one time saying, I'm not a number one enroller, but I can drive the line. I'm really good. If you come to me with a network, I can drive the line. And I was like, that's me. I don't have a huge, I don't have a huge network. She had a huge network. I don't have to have a huge network to get her where she wants to go. It's not about me. It's not about me having made all that money so that she can. It's not about me having to have a huge network so that she can. It's just, let's go. So when Ui's talking about, I gave her goals and we had all of these things, it was all based off of the tools that the company provides. It was based off of leaders who had massive momentum in their organizations that I didn't have when I started, because I just didn't know what I was doing, to now being able to say, I know exactly what you need to do. So I want to give you guys permission, if you have been there like I was, and you started this messy and you started this really not knowing what you're doing, but you understood that along the way you're going to get it. Just know that your people don't have to take that same route. You can obviously fast track them. And that's exactly what we did. So we started by...
I'm going to chime in on that. The messy.
Oh, like, yeah.
People wait so much on, I got to learn more. I got to look perfect. People are like, I got to have a good before and after. I'm like, no, sis, just get out there and open your mouth. And like, they're not going to sign up with you anyways the first time. They're going to tell you no, and you get to work on yourself and circle back. And by then they'll be like, oh, she's not playing around. Like, she's serious about this. So the messy action is the one. And I literally did this with baby number 5, nursing, with the phone in the hand and the hair crazy. And I was just like, do you have 15 minutes? Do you have 15 minutes? Like, yo, do you have 15 minutes? I promise you that word has been the magic. Like, use that if you can. I promise you. And because it's true. Like,
yeah, like, what's your brand and what's your personal promise? Like, what you're here, right? Because you want to build a business. So I want you to build that belief to where you get, that's the magic piece that we both have, is like, you have to know, what can you promise people? Otherwise, why would they want to join you? What's your, what have you like really gone into the critical thought of understanding the comp plan? Have you gone into really believing on your own, not your upline, not anyone else, that you promise that if someone came to you with a network and was hungry and ready to do the work, would you as a leader, as their guide, be able to guide them there? And so I really want to break down that idea that, you know, you have to be a 4-star in order to help someone else and work with them to be able to go up there and beyond, right? So I think that's really important to share, because I think what if it did, it could have held her back, right? If I had that mindset, it could have kept her back, thinking, well, she has to, you know, and that's just, we can help anyone go anywhere.
And I think in building our community was teaching gratitude super early on. And people ask, like, how did you go so fast? I was like, I didn't come here for awards. Like, I didn't come here for stars. I don't even know what that means. Like, okay, I came here because I hate watching my husband climb into bed exhausted at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure that tons of other families in Hawaii are feeling the same way. And so to not get caught up in, oh, but this person, I didn't go to celebration and come home and be like, oh my gosh, I live in like the smallest island possible in a dot in the Pacific. It's not even on the headquarters wall. Like, there's no Hawaii representation.
We've talked to them about that. They're fixing that.
Like, oh, we're not even there. But anyways, like, I didn't come back from celebration thinking like, oh man, I can never do that. I was like, whoa, if that person can do this, like, why not us? I don't care if it takes me 10 years. And that's the long term in this, was like, when I got paid $54, I cried. Like, I cried because we didn't leave our house. And like, if people understand what residual income is, that is powerful. And then that's when I just was like, really, it just builds, right? You just build your belief. And I just tell my team, like, man, be so grateful for that $12 that you get, because that's the unlocking. And then a year later, you're like, whoa,
yes. Yeah. And I love that. And I think we did, like, talking about culture, community is really building a culture. And I want to, you know, I love that we have diversity, and I think it should be celebrated. And something that the Hawaiian culture does so beautifully, and people here do, that I've noticed since moving here, inclusion and community, like connection, like face to face in your life, like truly in your life, real connection. And I know that that's been such a huge part as I've watched it unfold, because we
went island hopping. Like, we went, and, you know, we're broken up into 8 islands, whatever.
Yeah, people may not know that.
And did sip and samples. Like, we went to the people in the living rooms, and we had sweat and samples and sip and samples, and we just kept going every single week. We just kept flying, and went and just cried with people, like, what could this income do for your family? And then just from there, and once you have one person stoked and auntie's lost weight or auntie's made money, then they're introducing you to their whole family. And now Natalie's been adopted by like everybody. But big, small, like, there's not this look of I'm in health and wellness. It's like, we're all, right? That's what Isogenics is all about. It's like everybody together. And so not looking for a type or this, like the inclusion, whatever orientation, like all of it. And we come together and our team calls. It's like, I don't even know at this point how everybody's like linked or not, but they all have become best friends, right? Like,
just plug them into each other, and they're going and meeting up,
creating the same connection virtually. Totally. Like Hawaii has like the worst lockdown in the US.
We're still locked down, by the way. So we still can't travel. I don't know if someone's mic's unmuted, but
New Way Thursday, that's our thing, and we're trying virtual, whatever your virtual event is, but then we have a theme night, like
they did Disney, you guys. They came and did Disney. So it was, you know, in person. I'm a big believer of build it and they will come, right? Don't wait for something to happen to start building it. Like build it and they will come. And so we started doing New Way Thursday, New Way Tuesday, whatever day, and we would go live in our product group and host it.
I see Whitney in here, and we did like our curvy, like we had this one girl, she's like Miss World Plus, she's like plus size model, and they came out and did a whole theme about fabulous and fierce or something like that, and they did cheer, and they all dressed up and everybody's cheering them on, and like
hundreds of people watching live, and we stream these live into our product group every single week, and what happened is we really took it, and just like that, every single week it's like a 40 and fabulous, and so 2 girls on the team that are 40 and fabulous will host it. We show the compensation plan every single time. We do the products, they share their stories, and then we always share the comp plan, and we always lead with, we're not here to make money from you and just have you sign up. We want to make money with you. And so that's really the most powerful thing, because that really helps them immediately switch from like, oh, they're just trying to get me, to like, I'm a part of them. Yeah, don't make it weird.
Hashtag don't make it weird.
Yeah. So what else about community? We've traveled. We have incredible team members who have, you know, one team member who hit 3-star a year to her anniversary because they're doing it even faster. So it's just like this momentum.
Oh, and Mehana too. Like,
yeah, she was just recognized today.
She went 2-star in her first month.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just incredible.
And she didn't want to get on a 15-minute call, but I was like, no, you're coming 15 minutes. Like, don't let people just say, they don't know yet. You know, there's a big wall. Like, fine, find your way around it, climb over it, like that, because they'll be a little, like, turned off at first, but they'll be so grateful after. So if you can just sit through that little uncomfortable
that moment, for sure. And the other thing too that I know worked well for us in the beginning was, if you have someone, and some of you might be thinking, okay, I don't know an UI, or I don't know anyone who's like that, or I don't have a network. But here's what I want to suggest is, what if you had 5 people with a fifth of her network, or 5 people, and you're working just as hard with them? Like, you can have those results, right? And that's the whole point. So when you're leading, like, just think about, I remember when we first started, first of all, she called me and she's like, I don't think I'm going to do it. She could become an associate. And Kelly, I don't know if you remember this, but I text you and I was like, she has to wait out. Is there anything we can do for this particular girl? This is her. And so, because I was like, I knew she was going to be a rock star. And so once she could switch over to become an associate, Ui actually called me and said, I don't think I'm going to do it. And I was like, oh girl, get to my house right now. So I want to give you guys permission to like tell people what they need, because I knew her dreams.
Just
like,
no, but a little bit.
Yeah, for real. Like, because people need to be told what to do, because I knew what she wanted, and I knew she could have it in Isogenics. And so I wasn't going to let her give up on her dreams. It truly wasn't about me. Like, it wasn't about me. It was like, I knew that how we live in Hawaii, people work. It's like, you guys would be stunned to see how people have to live and work to be able to just pay.
The 2.0 was for us, before it got launched, was when Corona happened. And in our home, we lost, like, in Lahaina, we're number 1 in
everything's tourist.
Yeah, right. So it was even more so. Now it becomes responsibility. Like, you are not selling people, you are legit saving people at this point and giving them solutions. Like, I share comp plan, and the last thing I'm like, look, and it's okay if you don't want to do this with me right now, but at least now you know you're never stuck. Like, you're never stuck. There's opportunity wherever, you know, like, you still can be your own economy. And that's when things really picked up. And just like what Nat was saying, she came in and she's like, oh no, I'm not letting you quit. Same thing with our community. There are girls that, you know, and people got anxiety, depression, like all the things that we see going on. And you have to remind people, like, you're gonna break down or you're gonna break through, and like calling them into their greatness, because it's fun and games, but then there's some serious stuff that comes up too. And that's where I know this team always talks about leadership. So being bold in your leadership and like having those uncomfortable conversations, and being bold enough to believe in yourself as a leader and know that you just need to be one step ahead. And I'm not talking rank. I'm talking, you know, they need to just enroll this many people. They need to cycle this many times. I never played in the pools, you guys. I didn't even know what they were. I told you I was a hot mess, but I knew I was never going to let anyone miss out on thousands of dollars, right? And so now the pools are for new enrollments, new enrollees, like up to executive, right? So we make sure we wring out every dollar, because it really is people's lives. And I feel a responsibility. It's not my fault. It's not your fault if anyone misses anything. You can only show people, like Ui's saying, we can show them the We had JoJo on our team call. I want to shout her out because she's like, I Googled my way around this biz. And I'm like, if you want it, man, you're going to put in that extra effort and not wait for your upline to be like, okay, and this is next, and this is next. Like, if you're hungry, you're going to go and figure it out.
Exactly. And I think it's just so important to really find confidence in your leadership. Like, I really want to encourage you to ask yourself, what could I promise? What could I promise someone who was to join me today for the business? What would I be able to promise them? That I'm going to match your energy, that we're going to make this happen, that, you know, I'm going to be by your side. So coming out of that celebration, we did a 90-day game plan, and we showed up for each other for 90 days. And it was hard, but I really think that was the foundation. And I want to ask you all, like, write it down or think about this after this call. What would look different for you if you were to go all in for 90 days? 90 days, like no excuses. What barriers would you lift up? How much exposure would you be allowing people to have to you? How, like, what the bound, like, you still have to have boundaries and protect yourself. I get it, but I'm asking you, like, what would it be worth to just make new rules for yourself for 90 days, make new boundaries, and allow that tight connection and closeness for 90 days of your life, so that, you know, your life can change. So yeah, I don't know what else you want to share. I mean, coachable, let's talk about that, because I think that's what I want to say about Ui is she is the most coachable person. Like she said, she'll be the first person to call me, the last person to call me every day for 90 days. And it was just like, what am I goal? Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay. And it's just bring that energy to each other. And the coachability,
that's the number one reason why I think people fail in network marketing. They're not coachable, and they think they can do it faster, cooler. You can't be cool. Like, you can't be cool. You have to be willing to look silly and have your regular circle look at you funny, right? Like, what is this thing that you're doing? But head down, one foot in front of the other. And I think, just being coachable, saying yes, and because the company provides all the tools, you're not making your own thing. It's the same thing all the way up through Isogenics business. Not saying anything that everybody doesn't have, but the inner work is the work. That's been the big shift for me. I was not down for woo in the beginning, but I'm all about it now. And inner work has become the work. And every day I'm like, I don't touch my business to a certain hour, where I filled my cup, got my mind right. You know, whatever that is for you, that's the most important thing, because your energy is gonna make all the difference. And
well, I just want to share that about you, though, because I've seen that transformation. And the difference is, I think, that Ui just submitted to the process, the whole thing. You just trusted it, you know, and that is so exciting to work with someone like that. But then to see where it can really get you.
I don't know, I think people get stuck with thinking, I gotta get everybody. But what I tell our team is like, you know, the power of 10, where we talk about in the pencil pitch, like the power of 10, really like 10 people that you can truly make a difference in their life. And then that is what
duplication.
Just goals and like focus on those 10 people and really get to know like their heart, you know?
Yeah. And I remember Kelly saying that too. I want to say that too, because I remember she said that, like, get to know people's the color of their carpet, like get in their homes. And I understand with COVID, like it's a little more different, but we're doing it right now. Yeah. And it's just asking really great questions. We talked about this before we got on the call. Like you have to do a welcome call. If you're not doing welcome calls, you're missing an opportunity to share and touch someone. Like every person needs a welcome call. And then how much more connection are you having with them after that call? So that's your first stop to really say, hey, do you have a pen and paper? Okay, we've walked you through the app. That's what I like to do. It's my excuse to get them on the phone, you guys, is, okay, I've walked you through the ISOLife app. Now listen, do you have a pen and paper real quick? And they're like, oh no. And I'm like, oh wait, it's cool. Totally cool. And then we have them draw it while we're talking it to the phone. Like, there's a circle, then we do you share, they share. When we hang up the phone, like we were saying, if they're ever stuck, they have that piece of paper in their home. They have it at their house. It wasn't a presentation. It wasn't something that they turned off. It's like a physical paper that they can see $1,000 written on. And they may not think they need it, but when you connect back with them, or when they're watching you more and you circle back and they get complimented, or they've lost, you know, weight or whatever, that's when you keep just, you know, like going with it. Just keep going with it. I love that. Yeah. What else do you want to add?
No, like tangible actions, right? Make them feel good and then give them the steps. So yeah, definitely challenge everyone to get really good at your welcome call and go right into asking, you know, what would this income do for your family? How much would it be worth it for you to like give it a goal? What else? Just asking those questions and not being afraid to say, to go deeper and really peel and dig with people, and just asking them like she's saying, like, what are your goals? You know, physical, they're going to share their physical goals if they're a customer, but then there's behind that, why does that matter? And why does that matter? And you guys, there are so many great calls on this. We don't need to train on this, but that's what I think, that's how you build a community, because you really get to know people. And when you genuinely care about people's families, like our families are so close. I love her kids. Like I love her family. And to know that $54, the text of $54 and crying to now way more than that, you know, and knowing what that's able to do for a family, we have that gift if you're willing to lead, you know what I mean? And if you're willing to be coachable, like it's so simple. It's simple. I don't know. Is that it? Anything else? And we make it fun. One more thing. Yeah. You gotta play. you gotta play.
The more you
play, the more in flow you are, the more money and abundance and team members. Like, I don't know.
Don't take yourself seriously.
When you get stuck, just stop and be like, how can I make this more fun? Because then people are just coming to you. Be like, can I be a part of that? The world is way too serious right now.
Yeah. So make it fun, and just when you get in that funk, just get out and shake it off, and know what your people need to do. Like I always ask people, I think I've shared this before, what do you, when you're your silly self, what gets you in that state? What are you doing? Get there and try to do that regularly, because functioning from that place, everyone wants to be around it. So did you leave anything out?
You guys are so awesome. Oh my gosh. Literally, I only had this little notebook that was sitting here, and I have like pages of just notes. I'm just like, so good. I want to like hit on some things, because your guys' verbiage, I think if there's anything, I mean, we took so much from this call, but I hope you guys really listen to these ladies' verbiage, just some of the things they said. I know, I can tell your guys as a team stands on, we are not making money off of you. We are making money with you. And we heard that multiple times, you guys, throughout this call. So we know that's a core value in their team. Nobody's going to leave a presentation and not know that that you guys, sorry, Tyler's telling me to take my video off spotlight. Sorry if I was doing something wrong. It's no question that when they leave a presentation or a call or a welcome call, they know what you guys stand for. And I think we talk about core values, you guys, but I think it's so important that you have some type of tagline. I know a lot of you guys, the one thing you're going to take one thing away from this call maybe, and that one thing could be this, and letting people know that, because it's about that community, and it's about that sharing, and it's about not what you can do for me, but what I can do for you, how I can serve you, and how we're going to do this together. And I think that's huge. That creates trust. And that is one of the biggest steps when it comes to leadership. I heard a lot about confidence, and maybe you guys could talk about maybe just quick 5 minutes. And actually I want to add this really quick because Natalie, I got to know her a long time ago. She came to an Earn Your Wings event, and what I wanted to introduce you guys, because I really wanted to say this before you guys even got to talk to these girls, because one of the things I love and respect about Natalie so much is there's a lot of people that were enrolled on Inside Legs in this team. I was, Laura was. I didn't even know her placement, and it is probably in our entire team the most terrible placement on our entire team. I have never once heard her complain about it. I have never once heard her bitch about it. I have never once heard her become a victim about it. I have never heard it out of her mouth. I had to find out for myself where she was placed. And I was like, oh shit, that sucks. She's never complained. She just looked down and said, how can I help people? How can I serve people? And that was who she was. And she still does that to this day. And I believe her business is being utterly blessed for it because of that mentality. So if I know there's some of you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, but all I can say to you right now is if you're in that position and you've ever become a victim in that way, honestly, Natalie, I would like you to speak to that, because I know you don't tell people. You don't even talk about it because it's the energy she won't even put out into the universe, because she knows her job is to not ask what your upline can do for you, but what you can do for your downline and help and serve and give. And I love that. So I won't even make you speak to it, but maybe just the mindset around confidence, because some days you don't have confidence, you know? So what does that look like? Because I know you guys are true. You're not fake it till you make it kind of girls. You're going to really give people who you truly are. You're not fake. And that's what I love about you. But sometimes when that confidence isn't quite there, what do you do to help get yourself into that mindset of confidence? Because this is what all these people wanted. When the number one thing that they wanted in this level up, they wanted more confidence. So maybe if you could give them a couple of tips that you guys do.
Okay, I love it. Thanks, Kelly. Okay, so confidence is a decision. And yeah, it's going to ebb and flow. And I think it will also ebb and flow in different areas. I am very confident that I can help people in Isagenix because it's a requirement of it's not on me. It's something we do together. So, and I also know, I'm so confident that the comp plan is real. Like, how much do you really believe that the comp plan is real? If you were to match your energy for the comp plan, it's going to back you up. It's just there, right? It's true. And so when you get your beliefs so good, like I've watched video after video. When I first started, I wanted to know the thing like the back of my hand, backwards, reverse, all the way around. And I know I do. And so that's why I'm saying I can promise someone that if you come in, I have the tools because the company has the tools. It's not me. Like, I'm just the messenger. I'm like, okay, leader in action formula. Okay, enroll, you share, they share. Okay, welcome call. Like, it's all done for us. So I think that confidence isn't in me, it's in the critical thought that I was saying. Like, you really have to think it through to where it seems logical, but it's also matched with your spirit and your, that side of you. And an inside leg, I want to talk about that just quickly because we were strategic with placement. Even for Uwe, so obviously like she's on that leg, and she really built her entire organization. I'm not a mega enroller whatsoever, but what I did do, you did. And, I enrolled, and this is a strategy that I've had because that never happened to me. I would enroll, if I enrolled someone, I went back to her and I said, there's 30 something people below you. That was like 6 months later, I think. You want to take a look at this, or maybe it was 20 people, and that's so think about when you're placing people. 8, there you go. It's like saying, okay, I've enrolled 8 people. That's something, even if it's one that someone's like, but I did nothing. So think about stacking people. And then that's what we duplicated with her. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, you're going to stack people so that you can go back to the top person and say you have one below you. Then they start to understand the comp plan and what the power of it long term. So I think that that's in terms of like inside of an inside and all that stuff, which, you know, and when people get really good anyway, that, I mean, that's the nature of the comp plan anyway, right?
I love, I know this is not really going to be around, well, we'll talk about confidence in a second, but one of my favorite stories to share with our team when they're like, I don't know if anyone's going to show up or this and this. I'm like, do you know when Natalie did sip and samples, her first 7, coming from a new country, not knowing anybody, nobody showed up. 7 times. I would have been like, I'm out after 2. I'm being super honest. I'd been like, okay, that's kind of embarrassing. Bye. But she stuck with it 7 times. How many of us honestly would have kept going? But on the 8th one, 20 people showed up. And it brings me to tears because I'm like, sis, if you quit, I would not be here today. And so you are showing up for the people you haven't even met yet. I didn't meet her 6 years. So please know that you are showing up for somebody you haven't even met yet that truly needs you. Your confidence, right? This is what we hear in our team as well. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm confident yet. You know, the confidence I really think comes from reminding you who you are. Isagenix doesn't make you powerful. It's you doing the inner work on yourself and like reminding yourself, wow, all the things that I've overcome in my life up until this point, I have some gifts to share. I am pretty awesome, just who I am. And I tell my team, you know, I was like, ooh, what I say like, and brah, and I talk super pidgin, which is like Hawaiian slang. I love it. Okay, I'd like to be more polished, working on it, whatever. I'm here for the growth, right? But my imperfection is my superpower. I can't be anybody else. I like wearing shorts and wearing pareos and trucker hats, and that's how I built my business. And I'm like confidence in just being super myself, I guess. Yeah. And the last thing that we talked about this week is like when, you know, Kelly, you're asking, how do you get yourself in that space? It's like, and I hope you guys write this down, especially emotional women, that's us, right? It has never left you. It has always been you. That power, those gifts, it's never not been with you. It's always been you. You're the magic. Aren't you excited? Like, you're the magic. You're the lock and the key, and it all like it's you. So the hard work is done, and it's just you like not asking people for permission to be so amazing because you are ready. And I don't even need to like have met you to know that. Trust that you have gifts to share with people, and Isagenix is just another vehicle, guys. The best vehicle.
The best vehicle. And it's a journey, you know, it's a journey. And please, because I've done this, I'll be honest, I've done this for so long. Please don't the minute you detach your worth from your rank, from your cycles, and you realize like, I'm a freaking bad A woman or a guy, like whatever, like she's saying, like the minute you detach that, and you remember who you are and all the skills that you've acquired within your life. Why are you acting weird when you get into this business? Just cut it out. Remember all the things you've been able to do, if you know that you've done in your life that can help you.
And don't ever say, oh, you know, I'm doing this little shake thing. Like, you lost people already. Like, I'm so glad you asked. Are you ready for this? Like, that's a whole different thing. Like, don't be like, oh, yeah. No, try again, follow up. It ain't happening.
Exactly.
Come back.
Yeah.
But all right.
I love that. I love that. It's in you, men and ladies. It's all in you. That is your magic. So receive that. Receive those words. When you're not feeling confident, just remember what she said. I love that so much. And I love that confidence is a decision. It's a choice. It is not going to be handed to you. It's just like, I'm going to choose to do this. I'm going to choose to take this posture. And I love what you said. Also, it being a responsibility, like it's your responsibility to share this. And taking yourself out of the emotional equation. I think that's what derails people a lot is there's ego attached. It may be a bad ego, but the ego that's attached to that is what derails people because they take it so personal to them. And you said it so well. You were just the messenger. And when you can detach yourself from the emotional state of it all, and you see it as a responsibility to really show people this opportunity, that just creates this whole new message that you can just go out and share with the entire world, and some will, some won't. So what, right? We've heard that over and over and over again, but there really is a mindset attached to that. And that's what we're really working on, is what that mindset looks like. All right, you guys, I am gonna if anybody has a question, we have like just a couple minutes, put it over in the chat. Don't unmute your lines because that will get crazy. And I will take the first 2 questions if we have time. So whoever types the fastest, and wait for your thank yous to the end so I don't lose any questions, because I know we're gonna unmute and we're gonna blow this call. How do you explain to draw out the comp plan? Uwe has actually done a video of this, and it is in Impact Makers, and she's done a phenomenal job. So Kelsey wants to know how you're still creating community during these times of COVID. So what does that look like for you guys?
Oh, you know, Zoom all day, every day. We're just Zooming our life away. 15 minutes, and just the same way, you're going to take that same energy and, you know, communicate that through, team calls, I think, are always going to be a big one. And then we have our weekly meetups that we invite people to. We haven't done a theme one, but I think after this call we'll plan them. And those are fun. And then like our challenges were super fun. If you want, I'm gonna do a plug for go watch your YouTube channel, go learn what is that, one of the TikTok dances. I'm not even kidding. Do you know how many people like joined our business because they're like, I want to be with the fun group?
Yeah,
like
it blew, yeah,
we just were like, we all learned one of her dances, and we all
it wasn't required, by the way.
We just wanted to humor ourselves during this time of lockdown. And then people were like, I want to be a part of the little brown box. It was just so funny. So go do something silly. Like, people will want to join you.
Be professional, but that doesn't mean taking yourself seriously. I think
you can be professional when you're showing them the plan, the products, that kind of stuff.
So good, so good. Chantella also asked favorite comp plan video. Is that of yourself, or do you guys have a comp plan that you send to people?
She has one, I have one.
Yeah, I made one, and then Uwe made one, and we can give you guys the links. I strongly, like, if you're going to hit momentum, I strongly suggest that you save yourself the 40 minutes, because we show the whole thing and draw it out and record it, put it on YouTube, and you can send it as a tool and then just share how amazing it is with people, and then say, I'm going to send it to you, or have them watch it and then get on a call with them. But we can post the links in this group.
So perfect. That's great. Appreciate it so much. All right, you guys, are you so excited for this week? It's going to be an amazing week. I want you guys to unmute your lines, give these girls all the energy and love that you can send all the way to Hawaii. Thank you, girls, so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
So awesome. On the chat.
Thank you.
Yay. Thanks, ladies, so much. Your guys' purchase orders will be posted in the group. And until then, have a wonderful night. And thank you so much.